Okay, I've received a framework laptop. Um, I got most of this settings maxed out. I think I got the second from the top tier CPU on this thing because there's a big price difference for not a big performance difference it looked like. Um, I've not done this before. I just opened it so that you couldn't see the shipping label. And I don't know, I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna unpack it. We're gonna put it together. And that's that. Hopefully without using anything but the tools that come with it. So it's supposed to come with its own screwdriver, and I think like screwdriver spudger thing to put it all together. It should be self-contained. Oh man, those are some strong bubbles. Okay, I'll putz with that later. Okay, you can see this. We got power adapter. Yes, I ordered the power adapter, obviously. I didn't want to mess around with trying to find something that was correct, so I just bought theirs. It's pretty minimal if I remember correctly. There we go. It's opening it incorrectly. Cool. Pretty standard looking cable. Nice. So it's got the Velcro strap with the QR code. So if I understand correctly, you can use that QR code to replace it and find documentation on the item. So I think most items will have a QR code. Yeah, USB-C cable that goes into your completely built laptop. Again, it's got the QR code. Highly reflective. It's all right. And of course the brick itself. Oh man, it's nice and small. It's got this kind of clothy stuff. Yeah, USB-C here. And of course, I don't know the style that connector is. The name of it. Again, QR code on the end of it, so you can use that to look up documentation and or reorder it. And you can also use these QR codes to see just how crappy my webcam is. Maybe. Yeah, not that great. Can't say I paid a lot for it. Cool. Bunch of cardboard. Recycle that later. Toss it to the side. I'm guessing these are going to be the modules. I don't know. Uline packaging. I don't know what's going to be in here. That cut was so I could take a drink of water and burp. Maybe I'll throw it at the end. It was a pretty good burp. Oh. Yeah, modules. Okay. Whew. Oh, whoa. What do we got here? Oh, this is the Wi-Fi module. Maybe, I don't know if it's Bluetooth as well. But yeah, a little Intel Wi-Fi 6E. Hey, X210. No vPro. Did not get the vPro. vPro is like a remote management thing. I don't care about that. Again, QR coded. Little tiny guy, man. These things just keep getting smaller and smaller over time. It's pretty cool. I went ahead and got the NVMe offered from Framework, 2 terabytes, fast as heck. 7,000 megabits per second or something crazy like that. I mean, it's just gonna rip. You can get this cheaper without going through Framework. I wanted to buy it from Framework just to give them a couple bucks. They're getting off the ground, so I figured why not throw them a few bucks on this one. Hopefully it'll help them succeed. A couple RAM sticks, 232s, so a 64 gig kit, and then what else? Looks like the rest are just the mods. I got all the mods. I got USB-A, USB-C, USB-C, HDMI, 2 HDMI, 3 USB-C. So you guys can see all this. 1 display port, 1 micro SD, a 4th USB-C, and a 2nd USB-A. So, the idea being, I can drive at least 2 HDMI devices at the same time, because I really want to be able to drive two displays plus, the display that comes with the laptop all at the same time. So definitely run into DisplayPort often enough to have one of those. And then two HDMI is the most common, so I figured that would cover my base. Micro SD, I do still use micro SD cards here and there. USB-A, lots of USB-A's around. And then USB-C because I suspect my default running mode will have all 4 ports just pass through USB-C. We'll see. I wasn't quite sure. The work I do and just the scenarios I find myself in often, I use all these ports. So when I like my current workstation laptop has all of these ports available with the exception of I think DisplayPort. Instead they use like Lightning display ports, ports for display, whatever you call it. So you just use an adapter. These are the adapters, I guess. So those won't come into play until much later. I've got a big old stack. 4, 8. So I got 10. There's only 4 spots for these, but I got 10 different things. So, I mean, that's going to cover so much. And then what's cool is I can, break 1 or 2 USB-Cs or USB-A and still be totally fine. They're cheap too. I mean, relatively speaking, they're fairly inexpensive considering they're made for this laptop and they fit quite flush. Okay, we're going to change things up a bit. So, so they just put the chassis right on top. I don't know if this is complete or half of it or what. It looks complete. It's in this weird cheap fabric-y material that is actually, I much prefer it to an anti-static wrap. That stuff is just, I don't know. It seems kind of pointless these days. Cool, there it is, little 13-inch body. So it looks like it's mostly assembled. This is the DIY model. I didn't say that in the beginning. I thought I was gonna get a bag of parts. This is more put together than I expected. This part here. So, I don't know. I'm not gonna crack it yet. Let's look at what they got me here. Looks like stickers, like kind of a brown paperish style sticker. Super minimal. Is that how the sticker's gonna look? I'll mess with that later. Okay, here's a tool. So it's like a spudger and a driver, and that's it. This should be all I need to put this together, if I understand correctly. Here, let's spudge out the directions. See, it's already useful. Because I have just shaky, stupid hands. Using your framework laptop. Blah, blah, blah. Power button / fingerprint reader. I'm really glad they have a fingerprint reader. I didn't know it had a fingerprint reader when I bought it. I just found out a few days ago that the power button doubles as a fingerprint reader, which I'm stoked on. I love the fingerprint unlocker on my phone. I like it on my other laptops. So yeah, that made me happy. That's funky. I guess that's it. I think, well, yeah, that's not really coming apart. That's it. That's it. Okay. So all we have to do is put in the Wi-Fi card, the hard drive, and the memory. And that's it. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna use their box as my little platform here. Let's do this. Now I think, if I remember, these screws don't come loose. Like yeah, the way they're built is they stay. They disengage the other end that you screw into, but they will stay on this bottom side here, so you don't have to worry about losing screws. Just really slick, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit of resistance there. So that's cool. So I've definitely lost screws taking laptops apart before. It's no fun. So we'll crack this thing open. And what? It took me, I don't know, less than a minute. Okay, so seems pretty tight. Like it's really flush. Build right now seems really good. Now the big question is, will it go back together so in such a flush way after you take it apart? Assuming it, I think it's going to because it was built to. Oh, whoa. Oh. Whoa. That's scary and cool. Whoa. Okay, the display ribbon, I guess. So I probably opened this up incorrectly. I should have had it, I should have flipped it back over before I opened it. That almost seems like it was meant to pop off, possibly, for idiots like me. Okay, so you can see here that's, oh no, that's just the keyboard. Okay, goodbye keyboard. And touchpad and power and all that stuff. So that's just like a general I/O cable. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Clearly labeled. Storage goes here. Memory sticks go here. Corresponding QR codes, battery. Oh, it's got 2 speakers. Looks like it's probably just a general QR code for whatever's. This looks magnetic. So it almost looks like there's a magnetic fitment for the keyboard. That's interesting. I wonder if that goes through the keyboard, like you can stick things to it. Made with love by the framework team. Oh, it's got their names in there. That's cool. You're just like, if you've worked on this, you're immortalized in someone's laptop internals. That's pretty slick. I'm curious what's under here. These are spudger. It's glued down. I'm guessing this will be glued down as well. Yeah. So they have kind of some don't touchy ribbons here, which is probably not a bad thing. Man, I don't know what's under here. I almost wonder if, that's enough space for a second storage drive someday. I mean, that's crazy because that socket, that's not an NVMe socket, but it almost looks like there's the same amount of space there. Like maybe in a different layout in a different future. Who knows? Got audio output over here, so that's likely your little DAC amp here. Yeah, so probably like an I2S bridge or something right here. And then, oh man, don't quote me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, these are where the modules go. This is I/O modules. I see. So yeah, you got your USB-C pass-through here. This is your main compute. So it looks like the storage is part of the main compute board. So here's your compute board right here. It's pretty cool. I would love to take this out and put in some kind of external chassis for a little computer. When I upgrade this, maybe someday. I'm hoping what I want them to do is be successful, come out with a 15-inch version that can support an i9 processor. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, so this looks like antenna wires. I'm pretty sure the antennas go, ooh, that's so magnetic. The antenna wires go into the monitor, so you probably have antennas in your display, up the sides of the display or something like that. So I bet that is where your Wi-Fi module goes. I'm not reading the directions. We're winging it. Oh, I see. Yeah, that is, oh yeah. So that's the socket for your Wi-Fi. And then looks like there's some kind of bracket to hold all your thingamajigs in place. That's kind of funky. Okay, let's see what that's like. So I got white on the outer. So let's do white number 1, black number 2. So if you look on the Wi-Fi module, which I doubt you can see with this camera, because it's not that great. Try and keep the orientation of that. Here's the end where the antenna sockets are. This is labeled 1. This is labeled 2. And I'm going to go black to 2, white to 1. Oh, yeah. And even on the backside, sure enough, so 2 is the main, and it's colored black, and then 1 is labeled aux, and it's not filled in, it's white. So they're even color coordinated for dummies like myself. Makes it a lot easier for us non-instruction types. So I'm going to use the little spudger here to help push the antenna end onto its receiver here. Oh, these are so tiny. Whew, this is tiny. I mean, it's user serviceable. I'm doing this with my fingers. If you lack too much dexterity, or you have really fat fingers, or something else that prevents you from doing that, that could be difficult. Oh, whoa, this is weird. So I need to route the antenna wires back. Oh, I see. They kind of go into this. There's this little plastic channel here. There we go. Yeah, see, they go right alongside memory. Blows my mind you can have it that close to memory. I wonder how much one interferes with the other. I guess everything's shielded and grounded correctly, but it's okay. I don't know. I'm not a double E. Oh, noes! When I mean stupid, I mean I did something stupid. I don't know what I expected. Support guides, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes, yes. Wi-Fi. Difficulty. 2 out of 3. Steps. 12. Time required. 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Wi-Fi. Oh, so it's 10 steps including opening it up. 8 steps just for the Wi-Fi module. Holy crap. Unscrew the fastener. I did that. Remove the Wi-Fi module. Okay, it was already removed. Disconnect. Already disconnected. Install. So it says connect the antenna first. Connect black and white Wi-Fi antennas into the respective sockets on the module. Make sure to line them well before applying. Click them into place as the connectors are small and fragile. Once both black and Wi-Fi antenna cables are connected to the module, make sure they are rotated downwards as indicated in the second picture with the blue arrows. So you have to kind of almost pre-route them before you stick it into its socket. And then you kind of put that bracket there. Okay. This is going to be the most frustrating part of the build, I can tell. So, just like we did before. So I think I'm going to maybe route these after I get this into place, and then so go for slack now and then pick up the slack later. All right, so I just removed it from these 2 channels there. Looks like maybe? No, I had that wrong. Let's see if this is magnetic. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you for making that magnetic. Another good point. It's a nice little touch. They could have cheesed out. They didn't. They said, we'll make this magnetic because you're going to have a hard time with the Wi-Fi module. And you're going to wish it was magnetic. Holy crap. Okay, do I have that oriented correctly? I'm going to look back at the docs and I think everything's in a mirror. Oh, I see. Is it like this? It's like this. That makes way more sense. Okay. Upside down. I'm an idiot. Of course, you all knew that right now. Okay. So this bracket kind of helps keep it together, it looks like. I wonder where that name comes from, Spudge. Spudger. I don't really understand why these things are. I don't know what you. I mean, it's like a pry tool. I don't know why. I think it's called a spudger. Maybe a spudger something different. Okay. Yeah, I think that's easiest is to press the whole thing down and then attach your wire. Hold it down while you route the wire, and then repeat if okay, make sure they're not touching, because that would definitely make your Wi-Fi not work. Well, maybe it wouldn't matter. I'm sure it would matter. Okay, and then this goes on elevated. Yes, look at that. It has a little notch that lines up perfectly. And then it's kind of elevated, I guess, to prevent contact, aka grounding of the wires, or maybe it's to hold it in place. I don't fucking know. I don't know. We'll see how the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth too. This looks like a kind of a sketch connection. Okay, go back, reroute. I'm not stoked on this. All right, got all this extra wire hanging out. It's kind of, it's like this all has to go over here because it can't be in the way of the memory, right? Where's the memory going to go? We're going to do memory next. Let's see how this all goes together. See if we can pull some of that white wire through. I think it's still connected. Kind of make sure there. Okay, I'm gonna roll with it. Let's go memory. We got some crucial memories. See if I can open this without making it go flying. Greasy fingers. Should only go in one way. There we go. Snap it down. Ugh. That doesn't sound great. So crunchy. Yeah, the wires kind of go underneath the memory there. Or the Wi-Fi wires, the antenna wire. I do fun things with computers. Okay. Oh, this goes inverted. Oh, I see. That's kind of interesting. Oh, hopefully it doesn't matter. Yeah, chips on both sides. Jeez, it's packed. Lots of chips. Okay, now we do the storage. Man, that Wi-Fi module is the worst. Got our Western Digital Black. I typically buy Samsung SSDs, but they were tested with and recommend these Western Digital. I didn't look too deep into it. I just got what they had on their builder, their online builder. So let's grab that. I'll just stick it there. Get the NVMe screw out. Get the NVMe drive in. Get that into that socket there. Takes a little bit of oomph. There we go. I love NVMe drives. So much better than those big old spinny clunkers. Even better than SSDs. They're just so good. One day they'll be as fast as the memory, which will make them even that much better. Okay, memory pack this. Take up less space in my area. Goes into the bin. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay. Quick torque check. Oh, look at that. Spare screwdrivers, one of each kind. All the screwdrivers looks like they're, I don't know if they're anodized or what, but they're different colors, which is cool. So you can kind of know what goes where and help you. And I'm sure you've noticed like these things they're numbered, color coordinated. I mean, labeled very well. Pretty slick. Probably could have figured out the Wi-Fi thing without looking up the directions, but it would have taken me longer. Concerned about the cooling. This is not a whole lot of cooling. I think just we got the pipes and this one little port here. And a little tiny fan, so we'll see. It's pretty cool. Okay. I think, man, this is magnetically seated, isn't it? So I gotta get the I/O ribbon back on. It's easy enough. It has this, there we go. Not sure if you can see it. It's got this pull-up loop, so you can easily pull it straight up out of its socket, which is pretty cool. And then this should, just kind of the way it's made, it just coils right back to how it should go. And it's cool, the screw stayed in place. Kind of watching the seam here. I'm making these just snug. I don't want to strip them or anything, so I'm not getting too tight here. And it's cool, like it's just they all use the same bit. The bit fits really good. I haven't had any slippage, nothing stripping. I'm gonna go back over them. Just this little tiny Torx bit. Honestly, I mean, it almost seems to show off these screw heads. Like, hell yeah, you can take me apart. Yeah. Came back, no wonky seams. Like, seems to happen with most laptops I take apart. It's pretty cool. That was faster and easier than I expected. Okay, I'm going to drop all USB-C into here, and then I'll swap these out as I go and my usage dictates. So I think you just slide them in. That's it. That is surprisingly flush for like a pluggable, reusable module. It doesn't feel as chintzy as it looks. And, it's usually the opposite. Looks like all the packaging is recyclable. Got this kind of like, cardboardy, foamy, vacuum formed paper product. I don't know what you call that. I'm throwing it in the recycling. It'll be interesting to see what kind of third-party modules people come up with. I don't know, should I put an A? No, I'm going to start out C and then go from there and see what happens. I am going to miss having a physical Ethernet port, which I always do on most thin laptops. But I have a really good dongle, so that's, I can't remember if it's A or C, I think it's C, but less dongles the better. And it's so thin, like these modules you couldn't get, you know, you couldn't make a module with an actual Ethernet port in it. It's just too thin, or it'd have to stick out. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. You really can't do that unless your laptop is thick. Okay. Thick boy. We're going to plug it in. Power it up. Or not powered up. I guess we'll power it up. Let's look at the BIOS. One thing that is cool is all 4 USB-C dock port things, whatever, except power, which I think is really neat. These days you can get magnetic USB-C power thingabobbers, so you can have that kind of safety magnetic power style, which has a trademark name I'm not going to use. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Now, turn this around. I'm going to flip this around too. Let's see if it gives some kind of indication when I plug power in. Do I have the power on? Oh, I don't even have my strip on. Okay, strip's on. I'm expecting a light or something when this gets going. Some kind of feedback? Power feedback, come on. Oh, it's on the side. So it's orange. I'm guessing that signifies it's not fully charged. So we have our orange light on the side there. And there's a light on both sides. So like I said, it doesn't matter which way you charge it. Cool. Let's power it up. See what happens. I'm probably I'm gonna flip this, and then I'll invert this in post so we can both see it. It lays flat, which I really like. I'm so much a fan of that. I miss, like, the only laptop I've had that does this is a Lenovo. Let's turn off that overhead. So this little ring came on. There's nothing bootable in here, so I don't know what I expect to see. Maybe it did its thing already. I'm gonna long press, hold off. Press to turn on. Up here we got physical switches for mic and webcam. It's a little finicky. They're super flush. Oh, power. Whoa, that took a while. Okay, so it took a while to figure out there's no boot device. Okay, so it says default boot device missing or boot failed. Insert recovery media, hit any key. So if I had a USB key, which I do, then select boot manager and choose. So I'm going to hit OK. It says just boot manager. It's F1 help, escape exit. Escape exit. No bootable device. Please restart system. Okay. So let's see if we can get into EFI. Oh, F2. I wasn't pressing F2. F10 if you want to get into the vPro setup, which I do not have. And then F12 is the boot screen. So if you're going to multi-boot or whatever. Okay, so we want to F2 this sucker. F2. God, that splash screen is so short. I almost wish it was longer. Okay, yeah, this is old school looking dude. Inside H2O setup utility. Wow. This is old school shit. I gotta remember the swap control function key thing. That is cool. That's a really neat feature. So I don't have to do that in software. But then I might have to get like stickers or something to relabel the keys until I get used to it. Exit saving changes, yes. All right. That's it. Put the dang thing together. Let's see if we get 3 seconds of a framework boot screen. Oh, we do. Oh, perform factory test. Delete to skip. Oh, it's doing a memory test. Oh, it's because I'm not doing the quick boot. Oh, let's change that. I'm gonna let this memory test go. I should speed this up. You can't really see it. And then I'm gonna go back in, turn this back to a quick boot or quiet boot or whatever, and just keep the 3-second timeout. And then I'll be back later to, well, we're gonna install an OS on this sucker. And I think that's it for this